Remember when I called you on the telephone? You were so far away. It was raining in New York, did I forget to say? It was later than I wanted it to be, on an early summer's night, the kind when you can't help but feel alive and free. And I told you, from here on out, it's just you and me. Should we be together forever, girl? Should we be together forever, girl? We drove across the bridge and I knew that we'd be okay, on an early summer's day. No clouds up in the sky that I'd forget to say. You'd been up all night before, I'd barely slept at all. It's the kind of thing that's sure to make you feel so small. And I asked you, do you remember that phone call? Should we be together forever, girl? Should we be together forever, girl? Do you think we should be together forever and ever and ever and ever don't you think we should be together forever and ever? Remember when I called you on the telephone? You were so far away. It was raining in New York, did I forget to say? It was later than I wanted it to be, on an early summer's night, the kind when you can't help but feel alive and free. And I told you, from here on out, it's just you and me. Should we be together forever, girl?
Hello, and good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to yet another art stream that I'm doing very early in the morning. Welcome, all of you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and newcomers alike. My name is Douglas, and today I'm going to be working on page number 4 of The Interdictor, the same one I was doing on the Wednesday, but now we get to finish it. And also, hello there, Zach. Welcome to the stream. And also, today, as we would have it, song requests are enabled. So if there's any delicious songs you guys would like to request, now's the time to do so. And also, hello there, Marcus. Welcome to the stream as well. How are you doing today? In this very early Wednesday, Friday morning. And Marcus is say 1 year older since we saw us the last time. What? I think there's some phrasing problem with that sentence of yours, but yes, 1 year older, I suppose. And also, hello there, Bones. Wolf Morning, and welcome to the stream. You said that you're so tired. 4 hours of sleep. Why did you sleep so little, Bones? You know your frail canine body needs sleep and food to sustain itself, so why don't you give it the sleep and the food it deserves? Why are you being so mean to yourself? Why would you do such a thing? Nonetheless, welcome to the stream, Bones. Other than being tired, how are you doing? And Marcus said you, so that's the correction for your sentence. Which means you actually meant to say 1 year older since we saw you the last time. Oh yeah, it has. It is. I am. Welcome. And also, hello there, Oni. Wolf morning to you too. Everybody gets to have a wolf morning. Welcome to the stream. How are you guys doing today in this lovely Friday? Holiday Friday, even. Yesterday I said we might not be streaming today, but that is mostly because I was expecting to sleep hours and hours and hours today. I was expecting to still be very fast asleep by now, but as it turns out, I'm awake. So there you have it. I get to have a stream. And Marcus will say, "Woof, you are 1 year older since we saw you. Since we saw us the last time. You know, because of your beautiful birthday. Oh yeah. Now I am 25 years old, doggo. I have lived 1/4 of a century now. Doesn't feel like 1/4 of a century, but there you have it. I have lived it. Marcus says 25, young boy. Hell yeah, I am young. Never said I was old. I'm a very, very young boy, as it happens. Not gonna be as young in about another quarter century. But until that day, we're here being happy and cheerful and whatnot. So, let's talk about the news and the odds and everything else. One of the many reasons why I also thought I was not gonna wake up early today for streaming and such was partially because we went to bed and we went. It was already past midnight, and then we decided to stop by and watch one episode of this new Netflix series, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is an adaptation of a comic book series that is in itself a remake of, or rather a revival of the, I guess it's a remake, I don't even know, but they brought back it's a modernization of the classical 90s TV show Sabrina something. It had the subtitle, I don't know what it is in English. I know what it is in Portuguese, but none of you would know. And then I was explaining yesterday to my boyfriend that back in 2016, I think, there was a remake or whatever. They brought back Archie. You guys know him, Archie from Archie Comics. They brought him back and started doing a new comic book series with a revised and actual storyline, some other shenanigans as well. And they brought in new comic book artists. They brought in an actual comic book writer to write down the story. I don't recall his name, but it's a very well-known person who wrote the story for the new Archie comics. The artist who did the art for the first couple or few comics was Fiona Staples, which you guys might know from Saga. She did the art for the first 2 or 3 issues of Archie, and it really hit off, and a lot of people were like, oh boy, new Archie, how weird. And I guess that the people who knew Archie from, you know, the 40s or the 70s, I don't know how old Archie is, but the people who knew him from way back then was like, oh, new Archie, sure, why not? But new people such as me, who never got to read any of the previous and or original Archies before, but were familiar with the name, decided, why not? It's a new story, and there's nothing better than a story that's just beginning, so you know you don't have 300 issues to catch up on. And then I started reading Archie, and I thought, hey, this is pretty much Scott Pilgrim, but without the, you know, the over-the-top action and comedy and whatnot. But it's pretty much that. It's a little romance story and young kids being young kids and whatnot. Sam, hello there. Good morning and welcome to the stream. How are you doing today, young Sam? And Sam, say, how are you all doing? Today's a holiday here. I'm doing good. Pretty alright. I have myself some coffee. And how about you, though? Marcus will say, nice. Enjoyed salmon. Lucky you. And Bones, you went to a bed. I think you can find many beds on IKEA. Problem is you would have to, you know, assemble them, and they probably don't come with a mattress. But I think you can find a bed in IKEA. If that fails, maybe Walmart will have what you need. I know it says Irma say the most lewdest things because you're still half asleep and just woke up. Well, Sam just woke up too, and Grizz says, "Hey guys, hello there, Grizz. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today?" And also, hello there, the Trash Child. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. To the beginning of the stream, more or less. Amarka says, "And when you sleep, you work." Now done. And Bone says, "Someone else to judge Oni. You can rest today." And Oni says, "Doug, paint your body with your silk brushes and use your dick to beat the devil out of the brushes." I know we said we were gonna try and take Bob Ross's audience, but we're not truly gonna do that. There's no way we can do that without breaking some sort of community law. But anyway, Zach, you're back from the bathroom. What did you miss? Not much. I just told people I was gonna work on page number 4 of Interdictor, which is actually the second page, and I was talking about a little bit about comics and whatnot. But nonetheless, welcome back. And Sam says, "Yeah, you'll be a healthy boy like that, Bones." And Oni, you're gonna go back to nap. Sure thing, Oni. Have a good one. And Grease, you said you haven't really been able to come and watch the stream without internet or mobile data. Being honest, not exactly. There's some trouble, but you're taking care of it. Oh. I'm sorry to hear so, Grease. And Bones, you said, and you also show that ass. It's like you get me to Trash Child. And the Trash Child with the many butts, and you said butts. And it's a man booty too. And Bones, you cry. What? I'm still half asleep. I don't know what's happening. But sure. Zach, I said, "Doug, did you subtract 4,000 goodbye pounds for you yet? Or are you gonna deduct it when you do it?" The latter. I'm gonna do it when I get around to doing your drawing. I don't wanna deduct it now. Because, you know, until I actually get around to doing it, you might change your mind or about what you want, or if you truly even want it or whatnot. And I'd rather only deduct the points when we get to it. That's how I work with my commissions too. I only have people pay me after I'm done doing the commission itself. More or less. There's some liberties here and there, but anyway. And Sam says he does it when he finishes the drawing, Zach. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, as I was saying, the Archie Comics people don't even know which publishing houses they are. I guess that the publishing house is Archie Comics. Weirdly enough. So Archie Comics, they decided to start a new rebooted Archie Comics, which they did for a while. And I think that after they completed one volume of 5 or 6 issues, I'm not sure, they decided to. They saw that, you know, people were buying the comics and things were working out. People were buying the comics and reading it, the story, and getting into it. So I guess that they decided to do some spin-offs, which they did. They did the Cuphead spin-off, which is, you know, one of Archie's friends. He got a comic of his own. Don't ask me to explain, because I have no idea what's up with that. And then During one of Cuphead's comics, this was a collab comic of sorts, I think, which was Cuphead and Sabrina the Witch, the Teenage Witch or whatever. So that comic happened. And while that was happening, around issue number 10, I think, of Archie Comics, or maybe even before that, I don't know, but way early in the process, they decided to go and do to bring Archie out of the comics. So they did this show called Riverdale, which is pretty much Archie, but more. It's a reimagination of the comics, so it doesn't follow the same plot as the comic does. The comics is more lighthearted and more, you know, it's a teenage thing. It's kinda Scott Pilgrim-esque. Whereas Riverdale is, you know, Archie characters living their lives in Archie world, and then suddenly someone somewhere gets murdered, and then everybody somehow gets involved in the murder mystery, and that's your series. Never watched it, but some people say it's good, and it got renewed for a second season, so there you have it. It probably is performing more or less well. And then after the surprisingly warm welcome that Riverdale received, I guess, I suppose that the producers decided, well, why don't we bring more Archie comics into the big screens? So they probably went and said, which other Archie comics property we could bring back. And if we don't count the classic Archie, which is still being published, I think, and those weird ass Archie spin-offs such as Archie vs. Comic, or Archie vs. Predator, or Archie vs. Freddy Krueger, which are real, by the way. I think the only other one which they could get away with redoing was the Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, so they did it. And we've been watching it, and it's pretty good. I am enjoying it so far. And Bone says, wait, you buy sketches with Goodbye Pounds? Hell yeah, what do you think they were for? And Sam says, yeah, it costs 4,000 Goodbye Pounds. And Bone says, what can you get with 1,900? With 2,000, we were talking about the possibility of you getting a profile picture. But there you have it. And Zach says, you think you heard Oni said he will color for 500 Goodbye Pounds? Yes, he did say so. Oni is trying to get into practicing coloring, so he will color your drawings for 500 Goodbye Pounds. And also, hello there, Rego. Welcome to the stream. You said that you're here and you're gay. Well, welcome. And Bond say, will he color your slashes? I don't know about coloring slashes though. And Bond says, I will sketch balloons where you can approve them for coloration. Balloons? Why? And Nani says, Bones, please, you'll double the cost for you, cause we love you. It will be 1,500 Goodbye Pounds. True color plus interest. Anonymous says, nah, kidding. It will be 500 true color. And Bones, you said that you will draw many balloons for you. Why? What's up with the balloons, Bones? I need some explanation here because I'm slightly confused. And Zach said, cool, when Doug is finished with the sketches, we'll have only color it. Speaking of which, only one of these days we have to talk, like truly talk, have a one-on-one conversation where I wanna try and give you some directions with art. Because I have some promising potential there, and I feel like you're not focusing on the parts and the bits which you should be focusing when it comes to coloring, so I wanna kinda direct you into, nudge you into what I think could help you. If you're alright with that, of course. I don't want to force anything upon you, so if you're down with that, let's do it. If not, if you would rather travel your own path, then sure thing. I certainly do respect that. And Bone says that your balloons are top tier. Don't hate on your craft. I'm not hating, I'm questioning. Because I for one do not understand it, and I wish to understand it, so I'm questioning what the heck is drawing balloons, Bones. Explain it to me, make your intentions known. Because, you know, I am hella confused by what even do you mean by that? And this is a problem here. I am unsure on how to draw this character's ears. Because dug them, those ears. Also, I've been thinking on today, at the end of the stream, once again do the same thing as I did yesterday and the day before yesterday, and read to you guys the first issue of a comic and introduce you guys to new comics, if you guys are interested. So, are you guys into it? The idea of me reading you guys a comic? And if you are there any comics you guys want to suggest me to introduce everybody else to? Orego says, oh no, Doug is gonna lecture Oni. And Zach says, oh, one-on-one art lessons with Doug. Orego says, big dangly balloons. Bones, you said that Ray gets you, but I certainly don't. I don't get it at all. And only you realize your husband puts the scene in you every morning and night. Ah. And Orega says, oh my, lewd, can't wait to do those here. What? What do you mean, Orega? Oh, it's a wait, can't do those here. No, can't wait to do those here. I see now. And lewd comics to me. Oh, yeah. You can't very well read lewd comics. I don't think. But nonetheless, what did you guys think of Wild's End and Birthright? The comics which I read to you guys yesterday and the day before yesterday. Yesterday. Because Wild's End is a comic book series that I have been following for quite a while, but with comic books there's some weird schemes that they do every now and then, where they will post an entire volume. Depending on the comic, it's 5 or 6 issues, and after they're done with a volume they will go into a little sort of a hiatus for dog knows how long. So it could be a month, 3 months, it could be several months, it could be a year, whatever. They go into a long hiatus before they're back posting the new volume. So there are comic books that work within arcs, and once they're done with an arc they will take a break before they get started with the next one. That's how a lot of comic books work out there. However, Wild's End is one of those comic books. After the second arc ended, it took them a very long while to resume the work, and by that time I had completely forgotten to follow them. So when I went back to it, the comic was already completed. The third arc was already done and completely published, and the third volume had just released, because normally they finish however many issues, and eventually they release the last 1 or 2 months after they release the last issue. They go and release the entire volume collection, because normally there's some alterations, there's some different things about the volume, like there's some different extras at the ending or whatever, so they take a little while to redo and republish that. But anyway, I got it just as it had been published, and I read it, and I was like, oh cool, now I know how does the story end. But Birthright is a comic that is still ongoing, so it is kinda crazy. Because I had forgotten how that whole comic had begun. I even forgot where I am in the comic currently. Because as far as comic goes, Birthright is crazy because it loves its plot twists. But when I say it loves its plot twists, you guys have no idea. It's almost like every single issue has to end with some big plot twist. It's crazy, but for the kind of comic that it is, it kind of works. It is a comic book which tries to tell a very classical-ish story, which is the forces of power and evil, the forces of power and evil, the forces of good and evil, the forces of good finally get their hands on the prophesized hero who now has to take on the evil empire. What is this on Mega Man 11? Oh no, Mega Man 2. Thought it was Mega Man 11 song. Nonetheless. And you all know how that story goes. The powers of good and evil have to fight off. The powers of good are losing because the powers of evil are too strong, so they get the prophesized hero who has to learn to be a hero to take on the entire forces of evil. And what Birthright does, it throws in a twist on that. But once you get the hang of that twist and you see where the comic is going, it cannot be helped. The comic has to keep throwing more and more twists on you, or else the comic is gonna get into this stale point where from now on you can kind of guess where the comic is going, and they most certainly do not want you to be able to guess where the comic is going. There's that. And only you say, damn it, Bones, you got us all killed against the Evil Boy Bot Mark II. You got us all killed drawing balloons. Don't be sad, Bones. Drawing balloons, even though it's a weird thing to do, I still fully respect and endorse that. And Trash Child says, oops, you fat-fingered clip button, stupid mobile. Aw. It's alright though. And Bones said that you will have to look up Birthright. Or you can watch the ending of yesterday's stream where I read the Birthright for everyone. Shouldn't be too hard to find the replay of yesterday's stream. Shouldn't be hard to find at all. And on top of that, I'm trying to think on what comic to read to you guys today. Rego, you suggested you wanted me to read lewd comics, but we can't because of, you know, Twitch. But it just reminded me that there's an awesome lewd comic. Well, not necessarily lewd. It is a comic with about a story, but they tell the story in the story is all about lewd shenanigans, and it's a comic that I really like, and maybe I'll get to read it to you guys today. It's Sex Criminals. The idea of Sex Criminals is weird. It's weird on paper, but it works very well. The idea is about this guy and this girl. They have this weird power that whenever they reach orgasm, they freeze time. So they figure out that whenever they reach orgasm, they freeze time and they manage to find one another and they orgasm and the time freezes, but they are still there normally. So they feel like, whoa, it happens to you too, awesome. and then they talk about their time freezing experiences, discovery and whatnot, and then they decide to do the next reasonable things. They use their time freezing powers to rob banks and shit. And that's the comic. That's Sex Criminals. And it's a roller coaster of adventures, and it's an amazing comic, and you guys really should read it. So I don't know how lewd the first issue is, because I think that at some moments it is kind of graphic and shows some things. I don't remember which things and at which comics and which parts, but I guess I might go and read it for you guys today. Sex Criminals is very good, and it's very interestingly done. And Zach, you say you're just playing Ragnarok M. What is Ragnarok M? Is it Ragnarok Mobile? I know you said that your fat finger pressed the power button, the trash child. Jesus lordy, you wanna have that ability, but let it bring hung stags. I don't think it... well... who knows? Who knows? But nonetheless, later today I'll be reading Sex Criminals for you guys. But now we're done with, you know, working on this page here. It is finally done. Took me forever, but I did it. I worked a little bit on this page on Wednesday, and as I was working on it on Wednesday, I had totally and completely forgotten how to draw characters, because last time we were doing it, I was so engrossed into the scenery and the backgrounds and the motifs and everything else, that I had completely forgotten that the many next future panels and whatnot would be mostly about the characters than the background. So lo and behold, now that it is here, the characters, I'm completely bamboozled and I don't know how to draw them. It only says touch my butt, dog, and I will do no such thing on it. But if I could ask a favor of you guys, could any of you please request a Blood Tears 2, or rather Blood Tears from Castlevania 2 soundtrack? Kinda wanna hear that song. But I'm also gonna eat myself a fortune cookie, so I'm not gonna be able to request songs. So if any of you could do that for me, I would be very much obliged. And also, hello there, Phil. Welcome to the stream, and awesome, you're still alive. That is awesome. Welcome back. How have you been, by the way? It's been forever since we last seen you. And Zach, thanks for requesting the song. Although you requested Bloody Tears from Castlevania Judgment, the version I'm familiar with is from Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. I'm not sure if that's the one I'm thinking of, but who knows. Anyway, my fortune cookie gave me a fortune. It said, keep your good health and help the next. So I guess it's telling me to exercise and help other people. And it also gives me some numbers on the back. A series of 4 pairs of numbers. I guess those are lottery numbers, so if you guys wanna bet on the lottery numbers, today's your day. And how about you go and bet on the number 14, 23, 25, 33, 36, and 42. There you go. Phil, you say long time no see, and you have been doing fine. Oh, that's awesome to hear. What sort of adventures have you been doing on your own time? Because over here we also have been having all sorts of adventures as well. So now I can hide the scan panel and start merging all these layers here. Which is the background, the characters, and the thing. I'll throw it here. Oh, alright. Line art. There we go. Now we will need 2 color layers. Even though this comic is not colored, but we need color layers nonetheless. I'm just gonna block in some colors here. One layer is gonna be for the characters. Another is gonna be for the background shenanigans. Because I also intend to copy paste the coloring for the background onto other layers as well. And also this song here that is playing right now, Bloody Tears, it has eluded me forever. Because until this year I had never watched nor played any Castlevania game ever. But oh damn. But when earlier this year I was playing Metal Gear Survive. I think that's the name of the game. Metal Gear Survive. And just like Metal Gear Solid 5, you get some cassette tapes throughout your mission, and you can at any given time go back and listen to them in case you're interested in the game's soundtrack. I mean, not necessarily the game soundtrack, but in case you want to listen to some sick tunes. while you're doing whatever it is that you normally do. You can put on some cassettes. In Metal Gear Solid 5 they had delicious 80s songs for you to listen to, such as Kids in America and Rebel Yell and others. I think they also had Take On Me and another more popular songs, but anyway. They had a lot of very nice 80s songs for you to listen to as you invade bases or do whatever. Metal Gear Survive didn't do as good, and it had weird songs on the cassette. Some of the songs they had were older songs that Konami kinda had in their files, and they decided, well, what the fuck, we don't use the songs anymore, so let's throw them into this game here. I guess that's what happened with them, because those songs have no context whatsoever with Metal Gear, and the only reason for them to be there is because they're Konami songs. One of them is this kind of Konami Classics remix, which played a lot of chiptunesy music. One of them was Bloody Tears, one of the many songs in the remix. So I've heard these notes, this melody before in that cassette, and I kept thinking, oh, this is one of the coolest, but I have no idea where this is from or what this is. I just know it's a Konami game, so it could be anything, really. And then much later this year, I watched a Castlevania 2 playthrough, which was a playthrough of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, and that's when I heard the music again, and that's when I thought, oh, so that's where the music is from. How weird. But then I was happy enough just knowing where the music was from, and I didn't have to go and keep chasing it until the other day when I watched an extra credits video where at the end they played a remixed kind of public domain song of cover of Bloody Tears. I guess it's called Bloody Mayhem. And then I thought, well, this is the song. Which song was it again? And they kept eluding me for a few days until I realized it was Castlevania. And on you say, by the way, Doug, happy All Souls Day. That's nothing. Isn't that All Hallows? Don't you mean All Hallows? Anyway, only you said this. Bloody Tears is better than what Zach shared. Nani, it's forcing you to skip yours. Is it? I don't know, I guess the Good Boy Bot had some prejudice against Oni boys. Maybe it's Oni racist. Who knows? You shouldn't be Oni racist, Good Boy Bot. If you're gonna be racist against anything, I don't know, it's gotta be against Bones. With his balloon drawing shenanigans. this should be smaller. I don't even know what this is. But anyway, how are you guys doing today in this lovely Friday? Hopefully there's a lot of good things going on with you guys today. And if there isn't anything good going on with you guys today, why aren't you doing something to make sure that good things do happen? These little things here, this little clothing decoration, I hate doing these things. I kinda like doing them until much later when I completely forgot drawing them, and pages down the road I realized, oh no, I am not drawing all those little clothing details that I was supposed to be drawing. That has happened so much with every single comic I have ever done. If you go back and look at my comics, you will realize it, that a lot of times I am drawing a character with these or that clothing with lots of little bits and pieces of decoration, and then suddenly, a few pages ahead, those things are completely gone and they don't have it anymore. And this song that is playing right now, I don't know which song it is, but it reminds me of Sarah's theme from Final Fantasy XIII. Don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. But it is a thing that made me go, huh, about Final Fantasy XIII. Is that a lot of the songs are rearrangements of other songs. So Sunlit Waterscape is a rearrangement of Sarah's theme, I think, or isn't. Kinda feels like it is. And Blinded by Light, which is the battle theme of combat theme of Final Fantasy XIII, is a rearrangement of Lightning's theme. Which I feel is pretty clever when they work these things into anything really, any sort of medium. When they have a very sensible and very good sound design. And decide to use rearrangements of songs here and there for other songs that has some sort of connection to the previous song. Those things always gets to me. And I think they're very delicious. Okay, now that we have colored the characters, let's just do my little trick of filling this with white, that so there's no surprises, and between the line art there's full white, or should be full white. And now another color for the background. BG color, which is gonna be everything but this window here. Actually, let's paint it white, then paint this transparent. That's such a much better technique than the one I was using. I don't know if I'll have the time to do this, but one idea I had for this page here is to have the background outside of the windows be different, to give the sense that the train is actually moving. So it's not the same background over and over, it's moving, and with each panel we get to see more and more of the city in the back. So you can tell, they are truly approaching the city. Zach says the Goodbye Bot isn't honest. And then you say that the Goodbye Bot skipped your song. And Sam, you said, okay, seriously, you bought cake again. It tastes like iron and blood. The fuck is this? Have you had anybody else try those cakes for you? I don't know, maybe your siblings or your parents or a friend, maybe ask them to give it a taste too, because that's not normal. Either there's something very weird going on with that cake of yours, or you may have had some sort of weird thing going on. Sammy say yes, everyone say they taste like blood. Oh, then maybe you, first of all, you should stop buying cakes from this place and maybe get someone to get the sanitary police or whoever it is, whatever they are called, to make a raid in this place that sells those bloody cakes and get them to figure out why the hell this cake tastes like that, because that's not normal. It could be a huge amount of problems going on. It could be that whoever is baking the cake is actually cutting up themselves as they do it, and it ends up tasting like blood. It could be that if they're making these cakes like in high volumes, so they're probably using some sort of big machinery, and there is always the possibility that some animal is falling into it. So some dead animal is falling into your cakes. and it's getting mixed up with the batter. That is a possibility. Or there's some leak in the machinery, which is leaking some sort of chemical content. Or it's straight up rust in the machine. And other things that are leaking its flavor into the cake itself and giving that metallic taste. But nonetheless, do stop eating those cakes. It's not gonna be a good thing for you to keep eating those, Sam. The Bone says, wait, is it like a meat-based cake? And Sammy said, no, it's a chocolate cake. And Bone says, Soylent Green. And Onya say it could be red velvet. Orega says, finally figure out how to use Streamlabs. What do you mean? What do you mean you finally figure out how to use Streamlabs, Rego? And Bones said that maybe it's your red velvet. And that you're tired and you're saying weird things. Are you sure? Because you know, Bones, when you're tired and mentally exhausted, the only difference is that our mind does not have the same inhibitions that it normally does have. So it's not that you're saying weird things, it's that you're saying the things you truly want to say but you don't say because there's something in your mind that stops you from saying those things whenever you think them up. So maybe this is how you truly feel. Ever stop to think about that? Rega, you said you've been trying to make your overlay work and all the animations work. Are you gonna be doing some sort of streaming shenanigans too, Rego? Because you know, you could have asked me for help with that. I would have been more than glad to help you figure out Streamlabs or whatever other program it is that you're using. Because it took me forever to figure out how to do this. I don't know if any of you have ever noticed, but in this art stream thing I have going on, there is the background, it moves. It isn't static, it moves around. And it took me lots of time to figure out how to do that. Or to have the background moving. So there you have it. If you need any help with streaming shenanigans, just let me know. I would be more than glad to help. And Radio said, yeah, you are. Oh no! What things are you planning to stream, Reiko? You're gonna be doing art streams, game streams, podcasts. Also, I completely forgot how to do this weird ass sort of shading that I have been keen on using. And regularly say, yeah, mostly games for now. You're still a bit shy to show when you're drawing. Yeah. That is a problem every single one of you young artists out there will face eventually. The awkward shyness of having people watch you draw. Which is a little other interesting little thing that has happened to me. There's a friend of mine who all his life has been into drawing, but he's never really made anything out of it. Every once in a while, whenever I go to talk to him, we don't talk very often. We talk like once every 2 or 3 months. Like every now and then we kinda do show up and say, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Blah blah blah. But we never truly stop to talk and have a truly decent conversation where we actually tell one another how things are going and what they have been doing and whatnot. But whenever we do, he always tells me that I have been taking art classes or whatever. And I never seen someone take so many art classes for a person who does not has art as a main thing in their lives. It's weird. But anyway, every now and then he does some sort of art class. And in his art classes he learns due to the teachers he's having and whatnot. He ends up learning things that I have learned myself. But thing is, I got to learn those things by years of practicing and doing and trying different things until one day, with the help of some nudges here and there from other people, reading and studying about it, eventually, years later, I got to learn this thing myself. Whereas he got this lesson handed out to him in a single day of going through art classes. And that's amazing. Weirdly amazing, by the way. That you know. Well, you don't know until I say, but it is weirdly amazing that there's so many art things that kind of get with time, and that you get faster when you have someone talk to you about it or teach you about it. It's weird. One of the many things, though, that I have learned by myself through years and years and years, but this friend of mine has had it taught to him in class, is the confidence in drawing. Because this thing of, being shy to show other people your drawings and whatnot is that you lack the confidence in your art skills and everything, and in your art itself. And when you lack the confidence, it doesn't impact just the fact that you don't want to show it to people. When you lack the confidence, you also don't make as many when drawing and sketching, you don't make confident lines, you make very sketchy, squiggly lines. Your drawing quality in general is not as good, or it takes longer for it to reach a good level. And by good, I don't mean like, you draw like Picasso now. By good, I mean for you to reach the potential you can with your art, with your skills and whatnot. Because you know what is the best you can do, and you know what's the worst you can do. So for you to reach a good level with what you can actually achieve with your art knowledge, for you to achieve something that you yourself would deem good compared to what you can do, it takes a while, and it takes even longer when you don't have confidence in your art. So confidence is not just something of I don't want to show my drawing to other people. It also affects how well you draw and other things, and that is very interesting. Because if you improve this confidence in showing people your drawings and whatnot, you also become more confident in what you're doing, and once you do, you also start drawing better, or rather faster. So there's a lot of weird things in art, and everything is kind of connected. It's fascinating in a way. Or at least it is fascinating to me. You guys might not think it's as fascinating. Who knows? Nonetheless, Oni, you say red velvet to you tastes like blood and iron and makes you blush for some odd reason. And Sam, you say it's not red velvet, you searched it isn't that. And should you finish the cake? Sam? No, dog damn it, until you know what it is, don't eat the cake, don't finish it. Dog damn it. And also Chandler says piranha plant. What's up, Chandler? Welcome to the stream. What's up? And also Tiger says, ooh, looking very nice, Doug. Thank you. And also welcome to the stream, Tiger. How are you doing today? How's your Friday going so far? And on you say another odd thing about you, you get a little sad and questionable on you didn't win a raffle. When you win a raffle, you question like, are you sure you won, or are you pulling my leg and putting my hopes up? Oh boy, Oni. Seems like someone else also has trust issues. And also, hello there, Ring Shap. Bork to you too, and welcome to the stream. How you doing? And Grizzly say, Douglas, I still do that now, though you still show your art sometimes to friends who don't like how your stuff ends up sometimes and end up deleting it and starting over again. I mean, this whole deleting things and being kind of like, whatever. It's normal. A lot of artists do that. Making a drawing or something and then discarding it because they don't think much of it, but it's mostly because you don't think much of it. You did it for fun, or just to stretch your arm per se, but not because you were planning to do something with it. And especially not because you thought, nah, it looks bad. Or maybe sometimes it is, but it's kind of a different issue there altogether. But nonetheless, Grizz, you should when you're drawing something and it's not going the way you like it, you would like it to be going, and you might feel the need to go and throw it away and start over, or erase it and do it again. It's also because you lack confidence in your stroke. When you're drawing, you don't make as many confident strokes, and there's a lot of problems with the way you're doing things, and it does help to build up your confidence, to start drawing with a pen instead of pencil and eraser. Draw with a pen, so every stroke you make on the paper is permanent. And also draw on paper. This whole drawing digitally thing is good for production. I'll be the first one to admit that drawing things digitally is amazing for production, but you build awful habits off of it. Especially the Ctrl Z habit. It's awful, and you should not fall victim to it. So whenever you're trying to learn new things or practice, or as often as you can, draw things on paper. It's gonna draw things on paper and with a pen. It's gonna help you lose those bad habits you might have built throughout the years of drawing digitally. And also, Tiger says, and you are doing well. And Oni says you have severe trust issues on everything handed to you. Poor Oni. I'm sorry to hear so. Especially when you got honorable mention in the Bad Dragon Loot Superhero Contest and got a 50% discount on Bad Dragon. Did that really happen, or was it a hoax? Did you truly get a discount or something? And also the Trash Shout says, ooh, discount, buy me something. Actually, don't buy anything. Because you may be thinking, I got a 15% discount, so I'm gonna be saving 15% money if I buy something now from Bad Dragon. But if you don't buy anything, you save 100%. What sort of savings are those? 100% savings. That's the best kind of savings there is. Oh yeah, don't buy anything. And then you said that yeah, it was a 15% discount on items that were $100 plus, but your friend brought you the Bad Dragon using your discount. Oh, nice. But dog damn, $100. That's way too much money to spend on butt things. I just realized I should have made a kind of a reference sheet or a color scale for these characters. Because the thing about black and white is that you also have to suggest the color that a thing is through the values of black and white. And the most sure way of doing that would be to have darker things have a darker value and lighter things have a lighter value. Say for example that your coat, that this coat here he's using is some sort of black, dark blue, navy suit or whatever. It should have a darker color than his white shirt underneath. Even with shading and whatnot on top of it, it should still be darker or lighter. But some things it's kinda harder to tell what color should be because I have not given this one here a whole lot of forethought before I began. So I'm doing it right now on the fly and hoping to dog I get it right. Oh boy. And then you say, but your friend bought you the Bad Dragon using your discount and he said it was a very late birthday gift. Oh nice. What a nice friend you have, Oni. And Tiger says, ah. And Trash Out says, what a nice friend, Oni. Yeah, they are a nice friend. Who didn't try to trick you, by the way. They were very honest about what they were doing. And very earnest, too. Whatever earnest means compared to honest. Who knows if it's a different word or not, but anyway. And Greasy said you honestly have been trying to not use Sketchbox so much, especially since the only ones you got right now are huge and never seen or used Bad Dragon stuff, only seen the artwork of some of their stuff. Do use, well, I don't necessarily use sketchbooks, Grizz, but draw on paper. It helps tremendously, I can't stress this enough. Drawing on paper is amazing for learning. Once you feel like, I have been drawing for 12 years and have built enough confidence in my... I am now very more confident of my art skills and the strokes and whatnot. Then sure you can go nuts and do the and do everything else digitally from then onwards. But until you get a grasp and get really confident in your drawing skills, practicing on paper is really the way to go. There are, however, some people that do, for some ungodly reason, feel they actually draw better on digitally than they do on paper. They draw better and faster, so not gonna say that the only way to do it is by drawing on paper. Like we just saw, there are people who can draw very good things on digitally without needing to use paper every day. But my recommendation is use paper, draw on paper, and use a pen. Or most importantly, not necessarily that, but most importantly, try out new things. Try every now and then changing the brushes you use. Try changing the brushes. Try new settings. Drawing new poses, new places, new things. Try new things in general. All sorts of new things. Try them until you find out something that sticks and that works for you. The way I ended up working with Clip Studio over other drawing programs is that I needed a better drawing program because Sai was giving me shit. So I tried out new programs. I really wanted to go into Photoshop because a lot of people kept showing me these delicious, awesome drawings they made with Photoshop, and I thought, oh damn, Photoshop has such nice brushes and such nice things. I wish I could use Photoshop. But in the end, I never really got around to Photoshop because it kept crashing and whatnot, and I didn't feel good using it. And other programs out there, such as Krita and Medibang Studio and many others, I tried using them and never really clicked. So I said, nah, I'm not gonna use you guys. And even when I tried the Clip Studio the first time around, when it was Manga Studio, it didn't feel right to me until I tried it again at a later time, and then it clicked. And I thought, oh, okay, so that's how it goes. And now I can't use anything else other than Clip Studio. But anyway, I'm babbling now. Rambling, rather. Oni, you said, look at that beautiful art, makes you feel good in comparison with mine. It makes yours look like Garbo. Oh, do not say that, Oni. Wow, you guys really got into a bloody tears vibe today, haven't you? Nice one though, Tiger. Let's throw some preliminary shades into this pantalones, then let's paint it all over with a layer of dark color. Because I think that the colors this pant should have is a darker color than everything else. Darker than the suit and the vest underneath. It should be a darker color overall. And now just one single pass of white to give it some highlights here and there. And then somehow we kind of make this black and white aesthetic work. So how's it looking? I think it's looking good ish. And then a single pass of white into this side stripe here in the pantaloons. Look at that, it's looking awesome. God damn. Who knew I had it in me? By the way, Chandler, if you're still there, which I don't think you are, but if you are, or anyone else would like to take up the mantle, how was Nintendo's Direct yesterday? You guys were, or yesterday, I don't know. You guys were super duper excited for that. How was it? What new things did you get to see over there? And Grease says, darn. Why? You just watch drawing videos or listen to videos and streams that have audio when you're drawing. Makes you feel calm when you do, especially when the streamer or creator is sort of speaking with you or the audience of people watching them, cause you can get the advice. But also push yourself to just take it slow, like with you did. That's awesome. And Tiger says thank you, and you're welcome, Tiger. Don't mention it. Oni, you said, look Doug, your art is garble and you know it. And that is why, using your words, that is why I wanna give you some one-on-one lessons on coloring, that's so you can get the hang of some other coloring shenanigans. And Ring Shep says BlizzCon is today along with the Overwatch World Cup tonight. I don't know anything about that, but are you looking up for it, Ray? For the BlizzCon and or the Overwatch World Cup? Because I have no idea what that is gonna be like. And Grizzle said, though, it shouldn't be done too much or you'll become too dependent on their advice. I don't know. I think that I learn much more, much better, and much faster by watching someone do it rather than trying to figure it out on my lonesome. So when I'm having trouble, I feel like watching someone do something really helps me. So, or at least it kind of gives me a pointer on where to go and how to do things. So I disagree. I think that whenever you're having trouble or doubts on how to do something, how to proceed, seeking out the help is amazingly good and helpful. And in fact should be done without much reservation whatsoever. Because when it comes to art, one thing that I have noticed throughout the years is that there's a sense of pride of not wanting to do, not wanting to use shortcuts, not wanting to depend too much on people and advice and whatnot, and kind of trying to stride your own path and whatnot. And that's okay. That happens with every single artist out there. We are very proud individuals as it happens. But this pride in, you know, being the lone artist who travels alone and learns things by themselves, it's not a good path. It does work, but it's like with everything else in life. You learn and perform much better if you learn how to cooperate and collaborate, and learn to use everyone else's help. So as an artist, it is interesting when you take this "I'm gonna try and do it on my own" stance, because that is a moment when you can see how truly far you can do without using any outside influences, and see what your knowledge is worth by itself. But when practicing, when trying to learn, when trying to improve, go for broke. Get as much help as possible. That's my thought, at least. But as you guys know, I'm a scrub, so there's that. We should have been doing this before I truly start shading. I should color things lighter or darker depending on what color they should have in the overall scheme of things. That's so I get a reference point. And Bonzo said, "One, please, autocorrect, please. You wanted to talk to Oni, not One. One is not even here today." And Bonzo said, "You hate typing on your phone. Then type on the keyboard." Bones, go to your computer. Rain Shep says, "Looking forward to Overwatch World Cup." And Oni says, "Okay, Bones, don't talk to you, talk to One." Ah, don't cry, Oni. And Bones says, "What? No, he's too thirsty for Doug." Rain Shep said, "BlizzCon is a Blizzard entertainment convention. They make a lot of announcements. Rumor is there's a new Diablo game being announced." Ooh, rumors. And Grease says, "You're just being looked for help, but learn to do it by yourself. True, don't depend on someone else to always have the answer you're looking for." Yeah, that makes sense, true. And Bone says, "Wah, your message got mod checked. Did it? You said you don't want a toot." Yeah, let's allow it. Why not? And Oni says, "Dogs hate him, stags love him." Find out this Bernese mountain doggo's secret to get all them stag boys only for 1,000 goodbye pounds. Call now. Agrees, you said, "Oh yeah, did you finish Call Me Yours?" I did finish part 1. It's a multi-part thing. I finished the first part. But instead of, finishing it right now, I decided to go and do the first chapter of Interdictor, first issue, chapter, whichever. And once I'm done with the chapter of Interdictor, I'm gonna go back to Call Me Yours and finish the second part. Do the second part altogether. That's where it goes from there. And then it says he did chapter 1, it's on continuation. Continuation. Till he reaches the midpoint in this new comic. And Bones says his husband is gone. And Trash Child says you're still here. And Bones said you don't want a toot. And Bones says OMG, now Trash thinks you called him a toot. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry, Bones. I don't know how to use computers. I'm not a computer savvy boy. That's why I do art, not computer things. By the way, what is up with this term, toot? Apparently wasn't, you know, considered offensive up until 2 or 3 months ago. What happened in this short while I was not watching? Why is it a derogatory term now? What does it mean? Why people are hating toots so much? What is it? What is even a toot? I have so many questions. Do you guys have the answer? If you do, apply today. You might get 1 goodbye pound for answering the question. And enlightening your host Doggo with the answer for this question he seeks. That is, what is a toot? Why is it a derogatory term? Why it gained so much popularity within the last 2 or 3 months? And last of all, when is lunchtime? Do you have the questions for this do you have the answer for these questions? Who knows? Grizzly said you were checking your FA cause you wanna see what's going on in it, especially since you like seeing a young person fall for someone a little older. There's no age difference going on in there, truth to be told. I know Wallace looks like a very old boy, and Nathan looks much younger than Wallace, but they're just different kinds of kids. They are not. There's no age difference shenanigan going on there. Not like my other comic. So even though Wallace doesn't look like it, he and Nathan have the same age. Surprise! And Trash Child says it's okay. And Anya says, damn it, Bones, a tootie. And Gris says, who loves them back sincerely. And Tiger requested an Octopath Traveler song. And Chandler says, age different shenanigans. Hell yeah, age different shenanigans. Who here does not love someone who is 73 years older than them? Because I know for a fact that Bones do. Bones is super into the older people. And how old are you now, Bones? I think you're 30 something. Possibly. So that mean since you're 30 something and you like people who are 73 years older than you, does that mean you're into the 102 spry young boys? Or 102 spry mature males, rather, should I say? Because they're not young enough to be called boys or young. Oh, Bones, you and your thing for centenarial people. I'll never figure you out, Bones. Not today, not ever. But who knows? Maybe your case should be studied with patience under a very thorough microscopic look one of these days. Who knows? One of these days. And also, Chandler, now that you're back, I don't think you've heard my question before. I asked you, what did you think of Nintendo Direct that happened one of these days? I don't know which day, but it happened. What did you think? Did they announce something good, something you liked, something you did hate? But how was it? Tell me all about it. I don't very much care, but I want to hear it about it nonetheless. And Chandler says these pages are detailed AF. That's the point. That's the idea. Since they're gonna be black and white, there has to be something else to bring in the pop. And also say the stream title Le Mans. And the Trash Child says he was talking to a 60-year-old. Oh boy. And Bone says 34. So you do like people who are 106, 107-year-old. Oh man. And Chandler says mature male. Males. And Bone says you're old AF. You're not. Get out of here. Oni says Bone's too thirsty for old brittle men. And Bone says maturity is hot. Chandler says BRETTLE. Brittle, he spells. And Bone says don't kink shame you. I'm not kink shaming you. I'm saying that you're a very interesting person because of your weird ass tastes. So I'm not kink shaming you, I'm calling you an interesting person. Because you like interesting things that nobody else in the world likes. Only you. You're one of a kind, so that's the thing I wanna learn more about. Why in the world would you have the hots for something that is so clearly unappealing? That's it pretty much. And also, Valeriel Talonheart, the first of their name. Welcome to the stream, and thank you so very much for that canine follow. How are you doing today in this lovely ass Friday that we're having? Until now. Until someone comes and ruins it. How's it going? And nobody answered me. I still don't know what a toot is. Why don't you guys wanna educate me on the meanings of toot? And Sam says you're not sure you understand what's happening anymore? Question mark. Oni says Bones is gonna break his boyfriend hip and send him to the ER. To the ER. And Tiger said it was good. And Trash Out says don't laugh at you, Chandler. And Bones says only please, please. And Chandler says oh, I liked it a lot. It's still you're still hoping for Geno though. The best character that was announced is definitely the Piranha Plant. Huh. And Bone says the hell was that math? 107. I just said you are into men that are, you like age difference, so you're into men who are 73 years older than you, and since you are 34, you are into men that are 107 or 106, one or the other. I'm not good with math, but you're into centenarial men. That's the gist. And I was just asking about that. There you have it. And Valerio, you say sure thing, doing okay, I really like the art. Oh, nice. Thank you so very much. And you also say, also nice to see you know the music from El Shaddai. I don't even know what that is. It's the other good boys who are requesting songs. Probably Oni. He made up a soundtrack of music from things, and it's playing right now, so probably it's one of them. I have no idea what El Shaddai is. Sorry to disappoint. Chandler, now is the time when you say disappoint in all caps with a space between each letter. If you're gonna keep in character. And Bone says, why do you keep say tooth? Oh, tooth. And then it says, wait, how old is Theodore Doug? Oh man. You did have to come and ask the hard questions, didn't you, Oni? Okay, so let me make some quick mental math here. Matthew is during the time the Golden Week was happening. Matthew was a spry young man of 17. So that means that his father fathered him because of who he is. I suppose that Theodore fathered Matthew when he was in his early 30s. Kind of like 32. Why not? 32. So I would make Theodore to be. What is 32 plus 17? It would be. No, wait. 49? I don't know. Oh, make the math. He's 50. There you go. He's 50. Or he was 50 when Matthew was 17, but now Matthew is a much older boy. So Theodore is well underway into his 60s. There you go. Do whatever you would go and do with that information. And Bones' tooth is thirsty hose. And Valerio says, because that game was a lost gem with an outstanding soundtrack. I don't know it. And Tiger says, what's up, Tiger? What is it that you want to share with us? If there is anything that you want to do, that you do want to share with us. It's kind of hard to tell when you says, And Chandler, you said disappoint in all weird letters things. And 104 says hello. Hello 104, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? And you thought Theodore was like 30. Get out of here. He's not 30, he is much older than 30. He's a prime ripe daddy. He can't be 30, he has to be much older than 30. And or 40 you say, and Chandler you said get fathered, and if this good boy is Theodore, he is at least 50. The perfect age for you, says Oni. Chandler says Theodore thick, and Bone says thick boy, and Sam says Oni into old man that gives you the lewd taunts. And Bone says wait, you guys shame you and praise Oni. I'm not praising anyone. I'm not shaming anyone either. And also, we can't even shame you, Bones, because you're dating men into your age range, so there's no shaming that. Dating people your own age, around their 50s and 70s and whatnot. So what the hell are you even talking about? Are you trying to gaslight me, Bones? Is that what you're trying to do? Make me think I'm crazy? Cause I'll have you know that will not work with me, mister. I have a little... one of those little Inception trinkets that only I know that how it works and what it is, and if I think I'm being dragged into the... If I think I'm being dragged into the dream, too deep into the dream, I'll get my little Inception trinket thing, and then I'll know if I'm dreaming or not. And then I'll regain my sanity. And also, shading like this is kinda takes a little while longer than I thought it would. Damn. There's so much else to do still. And Sam says, I don't shame you. One of four says Bone is into older men. Hell yeah, he is. Sam says you hug Bones, you won't let anything shaming happen. Oni says you're 25, so you're half his age. Chandler says you're 800 years old AF. And Tiger says, oh, see both Bones and Oni enjoy older men. Winky smile. And Sam says, why didn't anyone haste? And one of us says, Douglas, why are you so goddamn cute? I am not. Stop lying. Sam says, help, help, help. Rego says, setting this all up is a mini nightmare. And Rego says, why are you core now? What? And Bone says, how can you be a big spender? I have no idea. And Rego says, what is happening to you, Doug? You're corn. Probably has to do with you making bad jokes. I would assume. You made some sort of bad jokes and then you became corny. So maybe try and do good jokes from now on. I don't know, I am not sure what is going on or what is happening, but I am sorry for you, Rego, and you will be in my prayers. I will pray very hard for you and your recovery from your corny state. Except that I don't pray, so it's kind of more of a figure of speech than an actual literal declaration. So. Oh. Look on the bright side, at least you're young and you're healthy, so there you go. Things are looking up for you, I would think, and assume, and hope. There's a lot of guesswork involved into this thing, too, so... Herblur. Anyway, Sam, you said that you have an idea for a new character, but you're afraid it's not that great. Chandler says, Sam, literally anything can be a good character, main. And Sam says you decide to make one of these characters who are nice and all, but have a secret about themselves. Selvis. When you're talking themselves in the plural, you have to end it with a VES, Sam Young. Sam. So themselves. But anyway. And I don't think it's a bad idea, but I hate the way you phrased it. You phrase it in such a bad way, Sam. You phrase it like one of those characters. And when you say that, you can already, no matter what the idea is or how brilliant it is, but you phrase it in such a bad way for presenting your idea to other people, because it already gives. Because when you say like one of those, you're already giving whoever the listener is the idea that whatever it is, they have already seen it before, and you did give it a kind of a bad connotation, so it kind of diminishes even further their expectations of it being a good idea. So if you're planning to present that idea to other people in the future, please phrase it better. But that's just me rambling, because you know I'm a complainy doggo, so don't pay me too much mind. I'm just being me. And Rago and Chandler says, oof. Sammy say you was like, what is crazy? Then you decided. But of course, the secret is that they murder. Sam says that he is into that extremely sadomasochistic thing that likes to cut himself. And Chandler says, damn, and Oni says your lewd empowers your husband and energizes him to keep going. Kinda like Rapunzel, isn't that? Oni. Kinda like Rapunzel. Anyway, one of us says, oh nice Sam. Now Oni says, plus you know why Bones, this is you. Cause you're a young boy. And Chandler says Bones is young AF too though. Rick Chef says, but, double T, Oni is a precious boy, and Bones says you're not a young boy, you're a dad. So bring your children along, Bones. Don't leave them all alone in your gigantic house full of knives and exposed electric sockets. And Sam, you say that you're a young boy after all, you're a young Sam. And Chef, you said that you're old, you're not. And Trash Out says, damn old people. And Trash Out says, Chandler, are you an old person too? And Chandler says, hey, oh yeah, you're 800 years old AF. And Grease just said, join in everyone, we need all the help we can, destroy the boss. Oh yeah, Dog knows the evil boy bot Mark II has been wiping the floor with your guys' corpses way too much. Speaking of which, Bones said that they need life experience, they need life lessons to be able to survive. And then you say Bones never loved you. I wonder for you are on phone, what song is playing? The title says in the video it's Maria Elena 02JAMOST. No idea what that is. But that is what that is. And then you say that's why Bones is mean. And Sam, you have died. R.I.P. Sam. And only you say no, I mean you say cause you think 1 + 1 equals 4. Okay, you guys have delved into the crazy talk territory, so I'm gonna go back to drawing my thing here. I try to make heads and tails of what you guys are saying, but sometimes you guys go into some weird tangents. And I mean, there's only so much I can follow your guys' reasoning before I start to question the meaning of life itself. And then I have to turn around and say, nope, fuck this, I'm going back home. But then I find myself in a very precarious dilemma, which is the fact that I'm already home. How can I go home when I'm already home? Since I work from home. And then I realize I have been dragged too far into this whole crazy talk scenario that you guys have presented me with. No, this is not black, this is white. So my only solace now is knowing that this third panel here, I'm gonna use the same colors for the character, and in every single panel I'm gonna use the same coloring, shading for the background, so I'm not gonna have to do this whole shading thing much longer than this. I wanna force this Tiger, hi and thanks. Rain Chef says OST official soundtrack. Chandler says I see a white spot on Theodore's pants and it makes it read. Tiger says there you go 104, anytime you want to see but can't read just type !song. And 104 says OST cheese in Swedish. Oh nice. And Sam says loves makes a house a home. And 104 says Douglas I wanna pound you at your work. Why? Why is the most pertinent question right now? Why would you wish for such a thing and then say it out loud? And also, this is such a change of character for you, 104. Because whenever, well not whenever, but yes, no, the other day when I was on your stream, you were so flustered, you could barely even talk. You were almost functioning at all. As you tried to talk and explain yourself and say the thing you were doing and what was up with you that day and whatnot. But when you're not streaming, when you're here in my streams, oh my god, you change characters entirely. You become this. Whoa, don't want to do that. You become this completely different character, full of lewdness in your system, and I can't help but be fascinated by how much will change when you're here and when you're there. And I'm like, wow, why, how, when, where, who? And I have all the questions and none of the answers, and it baffles me dearly. And it's all your fault, so I hope you're happy with that, 104. Oh no, what song is this that we're having right now? Is this a Sonic song? It feels like it might be. By the way, even though the songs are saying that it's been requested by me, I didn't request the songs. They're playing from a pre-made soundtrack made by Oni, so I don't know which songs are these that are playing. They're just coming and playing and then leaving, and I barely even get a whiff of them. So if they suck, complain to Oni, not to me. Or to me, then I can skip them, and then I will complain to Oni personally. But there I have it. That's the gist of the songs. And Chandler says, did Theodore get shanked AF? And Grease says, yay, and who's Theodore? Chandler says Theodore is the guy in the panel, maybe? No, Chandler, you got it completely wrong. Theodora is a character in another place, in another time. Grease says also, read the pages you put on your FA, Doug. Why? Why? Ray Shep says, why not Doug? We've got a Tassie Dog, Daddy Dog bot. Agree says, love it, but it'd be too short. When he says, nobody loves you with a slit your wrist with the Wii U pad. One of us says, you're easily flustered on the stream. In text, your real lewdness comes out. And Bone says, when you're in this stream, you become garble because one spreads it. And Chandler says Doug is doing a copy, and Bone said only, not one. Boo. Is it happening, Bones? Have you got the sickness true? The thing that makes you confuse Oni with Bones with one and so forth. Because we all know I have the disease, and has it spread to you? Are you now becoming confused on who is who in it again? One of us says, what is a garble? Garble is short for garbage. But I don't know why I even shorten it to something that is almost as long as garbage itself. But anyway, you only think of Greta Garble, and one of us says, Sonic, how dare you? And Tiger says, DuckTales OST. One of us says, it is Amazon's in DuckTales. And Chandler says, why the fuck is DuckTales here, Lamau? Who knows, because Oni requested it. Or had it in the playlist. And Chandler says beating, and Oni says, by the way, you make one flustered. Chandler says suck, and one of us says maybe a little fluster or a lot. One of you also said Oni comes to your stream and talks about lewd directed at you. And Chandler says, then who the fuck is the old guy, the old AF guy in this panel's mall? A character in my new comic. You're gonna find out who he is when the comic is published. Hold your tits, Chandler. It's not out yet. One of us says Oni says he wants to do lewd things to you, which flustered on stream. Oh boy. So now you know how it feels. Chandler says he is staring, and Bones says apparently. And Ray Shep says Oni equals Bones, and Bones equals Oni. Actually, Oni equals Bones, Bones equals 1, and 1 equals Oni. So it's kind of a triangle thing. And Ray Shep says that together they are bony. And there you go. That's one of the many reasons why I'm confused every day. Speaking of being confused, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break and I'll be right back. Hold your tits, everybody. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And as you know, that is how you bake a potato. Anyway, I'm back. You guys have been saying things as I have been away. Chandler says I love holding your tits. And one of us says, quote, speaking of confused, I am gonna take a quick bathroom break. End quote. Doug doesn't know how to use the bathroom. Of course I do. That is why I took with me a bottle of water. And now it says love triangle. The Rain Chef says, well, Doug is dog. And Rain Chef says nude. 104, you're just sitting on him so he doesn't move. And 104 says 15 minus 8, help. Rain Chef says 7. 104 says you are choking him with your butt so he doesn't move. Taylor says kinky, and Rain Chef says you're jealous you can't have your butt. And Chandler says bake a potato, Lamal. And Trash Child says poop hype. Then Rain Chef says depends on what you're gonna do with your doggo butt.